Let's see what we've got here. Whoa. Hi there. Welcome to the EF Desk. My name is Mike Smith and I am an education specialist at the Rush Neurobehavioral Center. Today's video is all about prioritizing. Prioritizing is an essential executive function skill. Not only is it going to help you manage your time better, but it's also going to increase your motivation as well. So think back to a time when you had just so much on your plate, so many things on your to-do list that you just didn't know where to start. Or just think back to a time when you had 4 different homework assignments and you had to decide which one to do first. That's what today's video is all about. How do we decide what order in which we're going to do our assignments? So when it's time for you to do your homework and you're trying to decide how to get started, we think you should consider 3 simple elements of prioritizing. We call them the 3 Ds of prioritizing. D number 1, D1, due date. If the assignment is due tomorrow, you got to do it tonight. It's as simple as that. However, if the assignment is due much later in the week, well, then that can get bumped down lower on your list. Now, there's one other element to consider when it comes to due dates, and that is the simple fact that you don't really have any choice in the matter. Your teacher is going to decide on the due date, so at least you don't have to use any mental energy to decide when something is due. That's already been done for you. D number 2, D2, difficulty. Now you have to decide for yourself how difficult do you think this assignment is going to be. Now this is going to be different for everyone. For some of you, English is going to be a breeze. For others, not so much. For some students, math, piece of cake. For me, no way. Deciding which of your assignments is most difficult requires a little extra mental energy. You have to look at everything you have to do and then decide for yourself which one is most difficult. Once you make that decision, what does that mean? Does that mean you do the difficult assignment first, or do you do it last? Or do you put it somewhere in the middle? Here's one way to think about it. What if you were going for a hike? Would you rather hike a trail that has a nice, easy incline, and then, after you've already been hiking for a long time, boom, it goes straight up like that? No, probably not. You'd probably get to that incline, say, oh my gosh, I have 0 energy left. You turn around and you just go back, right? So what's the alternative? Well, maybe you try and find a trail that has your super steep part right at the beginning, and then it evens out, and then you can actually get to the end of the trail. So the same thing is true for your homework assignments. If you tackle the hardest assignment first, there's a good chance that you will have enough energy to get to the end of it, and then you'll still have enough energy to finish everything else. However, if you do the easy stuff first, the easy stuff, because sometimes what you think is easy turns out to be a little more difficult than you thought it would be. Perhaps you've been in this situation, doing all your homework, and now it's 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and now you have to do that math assignment that you've been dreading. Forget it. You're just going to go to bed. You go to school the next day, haven't finished the homework. Super frustrating. Now there is a third option as well, and we call this one the roller coaster method. Sometimes you need to just get the ball rolling, right? So what if you were to start with something easy to get the ball rolling, and then you use that mental momentum to get up and over a difficult assignment? Then you go back to an easy assignment, reward yourself, you got something done. But then again, you use that mental momentum to get up and over another difficult assignment. The key to the roller coaster method is that you always end on an easy. If you put something difficult at the very end of your night, just like before, you might run out of mental energy and you won't get up and over that last hill. If you put the tallest hill at the end of the roller coaster, you'll just roll back down. All right, D3. The third D, desire. Now, what does desire have to do with prioritizing? It's somewhat similar to difficulty. You need to reflect on how much desire you have to actually do the assignment. What if you have a high level of desire, but the due date is much later in the week? For example, what if you were assigned an art project that you just can't wait to get started on, but it's not due for 2 more weeks? And tonight, you have 3 assignments that you have to get done for tomorrow. You might have to put that desire in check. Now, there's one more element to consider when it comes to desire, and that's the simple fact that maybe you don't want to do any of your homework. Maybe there are lots of other things you would much rather do than your homework. Let's take a minute right now and think of something that you would rather do than homework. Didn't take very long, did it? You probably came up with many things that you would rather do than homework. Here's just a list of some of the things that we have heard in the past. I'll tell you what, let's do a quick activity. This activity involves ping pong balls and pebbles. What do pebbles and ping pong balls have to do with prioritizing? Remember that thing or multiple things that you said you would rather do than homework? But whatever all those things might be, those are going to be represented by all of these pebbles. This is all the fun stuff. Let's see what we've got here. Each one of these has something written on it. This says study for test, book report, write paper, science project, do research, history homework, English homework, science homework, study for test, organize. I think I dropped one. Oh, math homework. Anyway, you get the idea, right? What do they all have in common? Obviously, something to do with school, right? All homework, school-related stuff. This represents the amount of time you have, and nothing can go higher than the very top of this container. Now, I don't know about you, but when school was done, I just wanted to take a break and do what I wanted to do, and do that first. And look, I still have some time to get my other work done, so we're going to put that stuff in now and try to make it fit. This isn't fitting. That didn't fit. That's not fit. There. Okay, so I got almost everything else done. Let's take a look at what we did not finish. Math homework, your book report, your science project, which was due the next day. Oh, and look at this. You didn't organize anything, which means one of these things that you actually did, like your English homework, you lost it. So what's your next day at school going to be like? Not so great. What if we tried this a slightly different way? What if we did these first? Everything that we need to have ready for school tomorrow is done. Now I can do what I want to do. Whoa. It fits. Now, I do think it's important to take breaks, grab a snack, a brain break, just a little bit of physical activity. All of those things are good. But in terms of prioritizing, you have to get the important stuff done first. Here's the good news. It's not about one or the other. You can still do both. You can do what you need to get done in terms of homework and assignments and studying. And more than likely, you will still have time to do some of the fun activities that you wanted to do in the first place. But you can't put off all the important stuff for very long. Otherwise, it won't get done. Especially when a lot of the activities that you want to be doing instead of homework are what we consider black holes. Video games, social media. The gravitational pull of these things is so great. Yeah, that's a topic for another video. All right, so to wrap up, let's do one more interactive activity. Now, this activity is going to require you to download or access the prioritizing worksheet. So on this worksheet, you can see it's a simple planner page. There are 4 homework assignments listed. Your job is to look at all the assignments written down for Monday, and based on everything that we talked about in this video, decide for yourself what order would you do these assignments. Which one would you do first, and then second, and then third, and then fourth. That's it. Just put a number 1 in the circle next to the assignment that you would do first, and then a 2 next to the assignment that you would do second, and so on and so forth. Answers can vary a bit, but don't forget to think about the 3 Ds of prioritizing: due date, difficulty, and desire. Thanks everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video on prioritizing. I hope that these tips will be helpful and useful to you in the future. That's it for now. Take care. Be well.